push that motherfucker back in. Got it. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
What's going on, everybody? This is SafeWord. Welcome back. Sorry we were out, but we are here. You know what it is. We are a platform for teaching, learning, and opening the eyes of our audience to the world of kink, BDSM, and relationships. I am your host, Mr. Kane Marcos.
And I am your other host, Aurora Storm.
And I am your co-host, Remi DeBow.
And I'm your second co-host, Miss Sasha Winter.
So, if you saw, we didn't have a video last week. We had a little bit this week, because we had a little bit of troubles and some family stuff and, just life.
But we've been having a giveaway run all week and you guys have not been participating.
Hello.
Free
You
stuff.
guys are on free shit? Like, what the hell?
So no video.
Anyways, we did have a video 2 weeks ago called What is a Dom? And if you saw that, it was kind of like, an army, join us, we want you. But now we're going to break it all down for you. So, Mr. Remi, would you like to tell them where they can find that video?
Nope, I don't want to tell them because they ain't joining our stuff. They ain't doing our giveaways, our backpacks. Nah, the link to that, to the website and our extra content is in the description below. So check it out.
And since you're here, you might as well smash that like and subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all your kinky news and educational content around kinky BDSM.
Yes. All right. So I'm not going to be able to be as expressive as you can see my arms in a sling, but this is
Hey, you was doing some kinky stuff.
Pointing that flogger hard.
I know. I
Right.
threw it out, flogging hard. Anyways, if you watch the show, this is SafeWord. And here on SafeWord, we have a SafeWord of the day. And I wish I would have figured out what it was earlier because I would have already used it. Anyway, so we use this SafeWord to stop, halt, and completely put a pause on all topic of conversation. So, SafeWord crew, would we like to let everybody know, if you don't know, it's right here on the board, what the SafeWord of the day is. 1, 2, 3.
Top.
All
Like
right.
stop.
Top. And it's a top because we're talking about DOMs today. So here at SafeWord, we use Zoom. Sometimes there's audio issues. And in order to combat the audio issues, if you're saying the SafeWord, no one's shutting the heck up, then we have a symbol that we throw up so everybody can know to shut the heck up. Can you guys show me what that is? And I'm only going to be able to do one hand. Like there you go. I know, to the side. Hey. So if people are not stopping, throw that symbol up. Make sure that you say the safe word of the day, which is top, so everybody knows what it is. Now, before we go any further, we have a fan favorite that rocks with us, rides with us, rolls with us on every single show. So can we give a great big hello to our number one super fan? 1, 2, 3. Hi,
What up, Roy?
What's up?
Hey, Roy.
We just like to show love and appreciation for the people that rock with us hardcore. All right, Mr. Kane, do we have some kinky news, some kink topics, hot topics?
Yes, we do. And Miss Aurora sounds like she was auctioning livestock last week. Like,
All right.
34, 35,
Man.
45, 46.
All right, I was like, what, Dad?
I got talents. I got hidden talents.
All right, so I got quite a little bit of kink news. We weren't here last week, so I got last week's kink news, a little bit of news for this week. So we got some stuff to go through. First of all, it might be a little bit pleasing to let everybody know that the San Francisco Leather Walk is returning this fall. It was canceled last year due to COVID, and this year it will be going on. So get your leather, go out and support the community. So I've been reading some really crazy articles. Yeah, what else do you guys want? Like,
I was like, and long pause. Okay, go ahead.
San Fran Leather Walk, like, hit it up.
All right, I mean, listen,
This has been your public service announcement. Shit's going.
Yeah.
Shit's lit, yo.
Going.
All right. Read an article, and I gotta say, the BDSM community needs to step its like media and just community outreach game up, because some of the articles and things that are coming across like on the mainstream platforms for like getting your kink news, like they're not good articles.
Okay.
They just got like some really bad headliners, like this one. why it's okay to sometimes feel miserable after sex.
So you saying we need to create, something that we create some blogs and some real kink news, huh?
Like some
Something.
sex positivity headlines.
Because you got
I
writers,
can word it differently.
you got
It's true,
writers,
but that
doing-
could be worded way better.
you got writers doing
Right.
this instead of actual kinksters.
Exactly. So okay, that was one of the headlines. What's the next one? I know you got a list.
Oh no, that's still, like I said, just some of these articles, this one right here in particular, I was reading up on it, and the things that it covered in that topic, I mean, that's not, if you're feeling miserable after sex, it's not okay.
Right.
Right. If you feel bad afterwards, and for some of the reasons that it was giving was like, okay, there's another article with the same information that could be titled, how to know when your sex has gone stale and other red flags in your relationship. That's what this article should have been titled. So
Okay.
it touched on
Alright.
a couple of things that if you're interested, go check out that article. It's on kinkweekly.com. So read that at your leisure if you want to.
Read that at your leisure if you want to.
Another article that I ran into was the 8 best toys for couples that want to keep things interesting in the bedroom.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So, and I
hold
was
up,
thinking,
hold up.
it's going to give a list of toys, like starting out, beginner, adventurous, curious, things like that. What it ended up being was like a plug for 8 highly expensive items that, if you really wanted to get down and
Commercial.
some of these things, I mean, they'd set you back in between hundreds of thousands of dollars. So for the rest of us, if you're really interested in getting into kink BDSM, here is just a list of toys that you could find that would be used to keep things interesting.
Okay.
One of them would be starting off the list is a butt plug.
Nice.
So
Right.
it's one of those more
Yes.
common items that you'd be able to find a little bit easier. The other one would
In
be
various
a
sizes.
What's up?
In various sizes.
Various sizes.
Exactly. Different lengths, bedazzling on the ends, just whatever you're into.
Oh.
So another one would
True.
be a glass dildo. So glass is a little bit easier to keep clean, and you don't need to go like $500 off the deep end for something glass. Glass is glass is glass. Yes,
Break on.
It's great for heat, holding heat
And cold.
and cold. It's a heat and cold. Get you a glass. Get you a glass piece. Get you a glass piece.
And they don't break very easily.
No, they don't.
I mean, if you break one, please email us and tell us that story. We want to know how.
How?
Yes.
How?
Yes. Was you doing somersaults with it in your
And top.
Was homeboy getting a running start?
Hey, you never know.
That's true. True. Okay, what else we got?
A U-shaped G-spotter.
What?
Okay.
A U-shaped G-spotter.
Yes. I attest to that.
Yeah.
The other one,
I learned a lot. So
I learned a lot.
so I know Remi has a collection of these. One of them would be a paddle. So definitely want to get a paddle if you're looking to keep things interesting.
He's looking around. He's like, where did it go?
All oldies but goldies. You're going to want one of those vibrating rings for gentlemen. That's probably first and easiest step to start off if you're getting a little adventurous. And then if you just want to take a deep dive off the high rise, go ahead and get yourselves a strap on if you really want to keep things interesting. So this has been a list of the top 8 items you definitely want to look into if you're looking to spice things up.
They got one. They got one that turns it into 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's some fun toys out there. Explore, people, explore.
Right.
So was that it on your kink news today, Mr. Kane?
I mean, I could.
Yeah.
You guys want to stop there? I don't think you guys are really going to want to talk about this next one, but I mean, I really definitely feel like we need to bring it up.
Okay.
I think you should.
So on August 12th, France passed a historic law that set the age of sexual consent at 15.
Where?
Awesome.
France.
Awesome.
Huh.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to get too many details on it because it was like a foreign news source. And so it's one of those, oh yeah, like or subscribe if you want to read this full article, or like get the monthly subscription.
Right.
But basically what it boiled down to was that the way that they worded this was in order to cut down on sex trafficking. So that way it made any sex with a child under the age of 15 rape, no matter the age of the offender. So, I mean, kind of a weird way to get that loophole.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sex with anybody under the age of 14 would be considered rape because the proper age of consent by law would be 15.
Right.
And so sex with a minor, or what would be considered a minor, right? 14 and under, that would be
trying to, child predators.
Yeah.
Not sex traffickers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
the other thing
sex
is, this is the part that I don't understand why it was included within this law that passed, was it prohibited sex with relatives under the age of 18.
What? Why?
I don't know.
See, now this was my first question when you first said it. I was like, are they having like population troubles? You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's older people there in France now compared to the younger generation, and mostly it's just tourism and not actually locals. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So now that's why I'm wondering, maybe they lowered the bar a little bit so that, people can get the population back up.
That's wow. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, what puts a law like that into place? Like, do they
COVID-19
analyze kids, at that age? Because I mean, they're kids.
I'm not sure. And the other thing that I really had to keep in the back of my mind is that even though I don't necessarily agree with this from my perspective, you're also looking at it from an, lack of a better word, American perspective. I mean, that's just abnormal by our standards, the way we think of things, the way we're used to things running. Who knows, like a 15-year-old in France might be worlds more mature than a 15-year-old here.
Yeah.
Well, they start drinking wine at an early age, so
Oh yeah, and you just know that's great for maturity.
Facts. You know what I'm saying?
Friend.
All right. Well, was that it for your King News that you came and get? I was having a good time till you dropped that one on me.
You dropped the bomb.
Well, I meant to have a little fun with this last one, but I don't know if it'll be a bomb. So I mean, just take it with a grain of salt. There's been a survey conducted that reveals 63% of BDSM enthusiasts have cheated in a long-term relationship with a BDSM partner. So more than half of people that are, whether they be dom, subs, or otherwise, have engaged or cheated in a long-term relationship, meaning they're with somebody else with a BDSM partner.
Okay, so maybe they're not getting BDSM or that kink provided within their relationship, so they're seeking it elsewhere. Got it.
That, or you just accidentally seduced a dom, or a dom accidentally seduced a sub.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily entering like a BDSM lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
True. No.
You're saying like if a
so
dog...
the survey is saying that anybody involved in the BDSM, that out of the people that they surveyed in the BDSM community have cheated on their partner with a BDSM partner.
Got it. I was thinking it was like a person and they were...
That makes more sense.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay.
So I thought it was a little funny, just because it's like,
duh.
Well, duh.
Yeah, hello, duh. All right, Mr. King, was that your kink news?
Yeah, since you keep rushing me, go for it.
That's right. I'm like, dang.
Jesus.
I know. I'm like, is that the? You got some long pauses tonight.
Is that it? Are you done?
Yeah, I'm good. That's
been
your
there
news,
yet,
everybody.
Are we there yet? That's what I want to know. Are we there yet?
There's some good information in
Sorry,
there.
I'm in pain. Let's go. No, I'm just playing. All right. So as
By
I
all means,
stated
make that the rest of our
before-
problem.
Huh? I know, right? So as I said before in this last video, we gave you kind of a little glimpse of what we will be talking about tonight, which is what is a dom. So I figured it'd be fun to kind of play like a question and answer type of a show tonight with the cast. And then we can also take some questions that viewers may have if they want to message in. Okay. So the plan is to keep it fun, sweet, short. It's not gonna be that short, but fun, sweet, short, but still informative and fun. All right. So the BDSM universe is becoming more and more popular, right? So let's take a look at the literal meaning of dom and doming. How to be a dom, how to be a better dom, right? If you're actively involved already, or let's say you've been in the lifestyle for a very long time, you can always, brush up on your dom skills, right? So we're going to start a little backwards tonight and bust some dom myths wide the heck open. So with that being said, Miss Sasha, as someone that is a switch, okay, when you are playing in the sub role, what are some things that a dom is not? So something that a dom shouldn't be. No.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm going to give my take on this from the point of view of someone learning how to come into my goddess energy because, I am the baby dom in training. But something powerful for me and something I try to practice consistently is communicating that I don't know everything. I am capable of taking on things. I'm capable of learning things, learning how to assist you, learning how to grow. However, I do not know everything. So if you want someone to help you with flogging or help you just do something that I'm not well versed in, we could talk about it and say, you know what, I would definitely love to help you on your journey. This is not something I'm well versed in, but let's learn this together. And that segues into learning how to tell people that a dom is not bossy. Not tell people, but learning how to
not be bossy as a dom, right?
Correct. Yeah, learning how to be in charge or just being in charge without being demanding and making someone feel subpar, unless that's what you guys negotiated on.
So how do you do that? Because isn't a dom always portrayed as bossy?
Well, yes, but
Portrayed was the word.
yes, portrayed, not betrayed. But yes, exactly. But there are levels to being a dom, and you want to make sure that you don't kind of force anything on anyone. And there's a lot of misconceptions, but we're gonna break a couple down. We're gonna break the list down. Okay, so just a short list of no's that you want to make sure you're practicing as a dom. You want to make sure you're not ignoring your safe words. Just because you're in control doesn't mean that someone else's desires or limits are not on the table. You want to make sure that you're still honoring the contract and the negotiations that you guys have set in place. That doesn't mean that you just throw everything out the window. So there is a level of making sure that we're keeping trust within that. Just because someone is coming to you to be subservient doesn't mean that you're going to break their trust. You're, like we said before, we're not going off of our negotiations. We don't want to divert from that.
Yeah.
Deviate.
Deviate, yeah.
It's not cool. Yeah. And then you don't want to make it, you want to make sure you're not making it all about you as the dom, because the goals and the expectations and the milestones you're trying to meet with yourself are way beyond you. This is a coaching, connective state that you're in with this person. It's a safe space. You want to make sure you're referencing it as somewhat of a safe space with this person, even though you're in placing. So, yeah. And these are just a few key points that you should know that a dom or sub is not going to perform the same way. It's not like across the board. So there's going to be different types of doms, different types of subs. It's not just a standard protocol for each situation. So you want to make sure you're keeping all those checkpoints in mind when you're encountering a new client or making a new relationship with somebody. But yeah, these are just a few little short tidbits that I wanted to point out, but I'm sure Mr. Kane has some other common no's that he wants to touch on. So what makes a good Dom in your professional opinion? Let me get some of those points.
Well, I can touch on a couple of those points, and that's something that isn't really discussed very much is what makes a good Dom.
Mhm.
I always reference back to this, and I actually had a conversation with somebody who I was actually forced to actually put into perspective what my problem with 50 Shades of Grey was.
Mhm.
Because everybody always brings it back to that, like, oh, well, 50 Shades of Grey, I want a Christian Grey. And it's like, okay, I can understand that, like that was a very
Dominating.
provocative figure. That
Mhm.
was a very provocative character. I mean,
It's fantasy.
that is what everybody kind of thinks of when they think of that good Dom.
That's
And
the staple.
honestly, what my issue was is that there was so much more in play there. There was so much more communication that happened that isn't talked about, isn't touched on, isn't, shown or talked about much in the books or in the movie. So a situation or a relationship like that can exist. And a lot of people are looking for an experience similar to that, if not exactly the same as that. But what everybody doesn't understand is that this Dom isn't going to enter that situation at the drop of a hat. There's going to be a lot of conversation. There's going to be a lot of communication. There's going to be hard limits, soft limits. All of that has to come into play before somebody can engage in that. And if you're willing to participate in that, then okay, you understand a little bit more where your hard limits are. And that's one of the most difficult things for people entering in is figuring out where their hard and soft limits are. So if that's what you're looking for is an experience similar to that, then hey, there's your limits. So now you know what to ask for. You just have to be mature enough to ask for it. And we've touched on that before too. But I got a little bit off topic. So we were touching on what makes a good Dom, and we've talked about it before in our previous videos, is that a Dom is able to read and understand nonverbal communication. And that is one of the most important things. Without it, you're subjecting yourself and your sub, you're putting them at risk for more danger. So if you're not able to look at nonverbal cues, things like that, you're going to end up hurting yourselves and others. And that leads us into the question that we always get into. It's one of our favorites. We talk about it all the time. We bring it up a lot, and it's been a point of debate for a long time, which is, can you be a good Dom if you've never stepped into the role of a sub?
I think my opinion of this question changes like every single time it's asked. Like, It depends on how I feel at that moment, what my answer is going to be. But I personally say yes, they could, but they still have to be empathetic. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you have to still understand people. If you have an understanding of people nature, emotions, communication, body language, things of that nature, I think it can make you a good Dom.
Okay, and I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I'm going to say no, because how the heck do you know what's going on in that individual's mind or what they're dealing with, how they feel, the ups, the downs, the insides, the outs. I've played a sub to figure out what my subs are going through. You know what I'm saying? And you need to have a level of understanding, a level of connectivity to it to be able to take the lead in the story. Because really, honestly, you're just taking the lead in the story. As a Dom, the sub, in my opinion, has a lot of the control. So, you know what I'm saying? They're telling you what to do. They're telling you where their limits are at. You're the one doing. So,
you're the guider. It's like,
so are you really the sub or the Dom?
Right, exactly. And that's exactly it. And so how can you honestly say you're good at either one if you haven't stepped into either one's shoes?
Lickety plow. Drop the mic.
Well, Kane's over there got the head going.
See,
Miss Sasha,
I
you got
already
something to
knew
add
the
to this?
answers.
Hold on, I want to
I
hear what
already
Sasha
knew-
has to say.
I already knew most of the answers. That's why I just devil's advocate it up.
But Sasha, what do you think? Do you think that you can be a good dom if you haven't stepped into the shoes of a sub?
I would say no. I don't think you can. You can't be as unbiased because you're not unlocking those feelings so you can guide someone appropriately because you're not, like Remi said, becoming empathetic to someone else in who you're guiding. You're not being compassionate, I guess.
Right.
Mhm.
Not understanding the full spectrum. So what do you have to say about that, Kane? I see
Let's
the
go,
little
Kane.
smirk. You got
Let's
a
go.
smirk.
I got a lot.
Let's go, Kane.
Remi's like,
Unpack
you
it.
my team, dog.
Let's
You
go.
my
Come on.
team.
Come
I got a
on.
lot. So, oh man, you guys all made some really good points, but
Mhm.
for me, I'm gonna play devil's advocate to the advocacy of the advocacy.
Oh goodness.
I would say yes and no, only because a lot of people assume that stepping into the role of a sub means that you are becoming a sub. And a lot of doms have a hard time accepting that as part of, discussing that as part of their resume, because, they have this mentality of the toughest doms have always been doms. I've never been whipped, so I've never been a sub. I'm not, the sub life isn't for me. I'm a dom, I'm a top. And we're going to touch on that a little bit more, where it's just like that aggressive machismo of, no, I don't do that.
Right.
It's the same sense of saying a CEO could be a CEO with never working his way up from a company.
Right.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I think that just because you get flogged doesn't make you a sub. If you're actually stepping into that role and, you ask a fellow dom like, hey, I use this on my subs, hit me with this so that way I know what it's like. All right. And if you get flogged a couple times by another dom, you're not necessarily that dom's sub. You just experience something that your sub would go through via the assistance of another dom.
Okay, but you're still skirting around the question. The question is, can you be a good dom if you haven't stepped into that role?
I'm a firm believer that the best leaders have the ability to follow. So I would say, yes, you could be, or no, you wouldn't be able to be the best dom possible unless you've actually gone through what a sub has gone through. But I won't say that that a dom has to be a sub to experience that. It could just
I know, and that's not what I was saying. The question was,
She's trying to change it up now.
Do it if you haven't experienced what it is to be a sub. You don't necessarily have
it
to
was a
work
multifaceted question. Leave Miss Aurora alone, okay?
But yeah, so I mean, like, we all have like our differences of opinions, and like I said, I love bringing this question up because it gets all of us going.
Real.
Yeah, it really does.
So,
oh yeah, we could go back and forth on this for like hours.
For real.
Guaranteed.
Oh,
yeah. Guaranteed.
Right.
But what about this? And what about this though?
but what about this? What if? Yeah.
Join the Patreon if you want to see that, because that's where that'll be.
All right. So all great opinions to keep in mind, and what type of relationship you end up building with your sub, that's going to be depends on the needs and desires of your sub, and I always like to think that something I don't think gets put into words often enough is, in a BDSM relationship between a dom and a sub, the dom isn't the fun role. The dom is the working role.
I think that's a matter of opinion.
If you enjoy your work, it's fun, right? So I mean, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
And doms, in my opinion, are both putting in work, because it takes a level of relinquishment and ownership of somebody else's relinquishment. That's a different topic.
But I mean, when you bring into the account that, to be a good dom and everything, you have to be empathetic and everything else. The sub has all the control in that room. The sub has all the control in the dungeon. Their SafeWord stops and halts all activity. So as a dom, I would say that it's difficult to be in an assertive mindset while also having that, ripcord, that safety net of, I need to be able to turn this off, that kill switch, at the drop of a hat. The second that this person gets uncomfortable, even if I don't think that they should be uncomfortable, if they say they are, that's it. So speaking on other things though, you know, like to make a good dom, when you're doming somebody for the first time, you never want to push your ideas on that person too
that's
much.
true.
You know, like you don't want to get that idea that what you have going on in your head is the way that the fantasy should be playing out. That's why I say like the sub has all the power, the sub has all the control, because the fantasy is what they want it to be. You're there to facilitate that fantasy for them. So just my opinion, you know, take it, leave it, like it, don't like it, whatever.
All right, so you give us definitely some good key points on what it is to make good dom. We heard Sasha tell us some no lists, right? So we're working a little backwards tonight. We're giving you the dessert before the main course. So I'm going to keep it going like this, right? And we're going to talk about what exactly a dom is, what kind of different doms there are, labels, even if you don't like labels, okay? There are labelings for doms and the different types of doms, okay? So if you're new or old to this lifestyle, it doesn't matter. It's good to have a firm understanding of these things, okay? So to start, before I get into all this, let me pose a question to my crew. Okay. Since we're kind of on this topic anyway. So does being a dom have anything to do with being domineering?
Who should go first?
I'm opening it up. Y'all jump in. What does a dom have anything to do with being domineering? Does
Yes.
being a dom?
I'm gonna, yeah, Miss Sasha raised her hand. Let her go.
He's like,
Leave my church finger alone.
Go ahead.
I would say a dom doesn't necessarily, in my opinion, have to be domineering, because a dom could be very tactical and not necessarily domineering. I've seen some doms be very subservient in their day life and be super dominant when they put on that role. So in my opinion, I've seen people embody the title differently. So it's up for debate. I don't think you have to be domineering to necessarily be a leader.
Okay. All right. Well, let's throw this in the pot. Go ahead, Remi. You sitting over there biting at the bit. Go ahead.
What you got to say?
What you got to say, brother Remi?
I'm gonna say you have to have some aspects of being domineering. And then other aspects of, I say, more like caring, because I feel like doms care more than others. Like they really pay attention to things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and in order for someone to really pay attention to you, they have to care about you. You know what I mean?
Okay. What do you think, Mr. Kane?
I think it's all a matter of perspective.
Yeah, in a matter of perspective.
Because I mean, I think every dom is going to be assertive in their own right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
A parent.
Yeah, and it comes down to that. You know, normal is an illusion. What's normal for the spider is chaos for the fly. There's a brat somewhere that could take the softest dom's, you know, passive assertiveness and call it domineering. You know, it's always going to be too much. It's always going to be too far. It's always going to be, you know, somebody's always bound to not like it and call it something other than what it is. Domineering has a negative connotation to it, so I wouldn't necessarily use that. I would say assertive, but my assertive is somebody else's domineering.
Okay, and I can kind of understand that, but I'm going to twist this all the way up and just give you a straight up fact. Okay.
You can't say fact. It's an opinion.
Just fact. Being dominant has nothing to do with being domineering. They're actually contradictive of each other. So, you know, a dominant is someone who is drawn to taking a role of power over others and control over others through means of consent. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're domineering. Dominant is something that you're choosing to do. And so there's rules and regulations that go along with that. Well, if you're stepping into the role of a dom to be a dominant, not domineering, because you can have a domineering personality, you know, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you're taking power and control over somebody's personality, person, their self, and have gotten consent. When you're a dom, that's something you do. You have to have consent. You know what I'm saying? To have that control and that power exchange. So, I mean, that's just what I think. So, but let's move forward because that could be a whole nother conversation. I see Kate's face.
True.
I got something. Join the Patreon. Mr. Remi, though, I'm going to have you tell us, because we were going to talk about the different types of DOMs. And I know that there are people that are interested in what are the different types of DOMs. So can you give us like a little basic rundown of what different types of DOMs there are?
All right. So different types of DOMs. There are at least 15. Had to write these joints down so we can make sure we get all this joint correct. You understand? So we got DOMs, the masculine ones. And then you got
Dom.
Dom A. I'm just going to say Dom because it's the same thing to me. You're going to call him a Dom, but it's pronounced Dom A. I'm trying to be fancy. It's the feminine version. And this is just the basic names, right? Then you have Dom, Tops, Master, Mistress, Daddies, Mommies, Riggers, Sadists, White Knights, Leatherman, Femdom, not to be confused with Findom.
Oh, okay.
All right. So this one, I'm going to explain it a bit because I have questions for the crew. So a femdom is where the goddess role falls into play. And as a femdom, females play the supremacy role, and findom is a dominant who basically asks their submissives to send them tributes, money, expensive gifts as part of their submission.
Yeah.
They also oftentimes control the person's financials. So this brings me to my first question. If you as the dom, findom meaning financial, are not good at budgeting and allocating money, then should you not play as a financial domination?
So not play.
No.
Okay, so if you're not good at money, right? You're
not good at handling money. Should you play in the financial domination role?
Should you play in the field of financial domination? Okay.
Facts. Yes.
I'm going to say you can. I'm going
to say what makes you bad at money. I mean, like, I don't want some obsessive compulsive gambler like handling
well,
my
no,
finances.
but let's say it's simple level. You have a hard time budgeting and allocating where money's supposed to go. Like if somebody hands you $5,000 and they're telling you, I have, $3,000 worth of bills, where should I put this money? If you're not good at doing that, can you still financially dominate them?
I believe financially screw them.
No, but you can also do it without financially screwing them. What do you think, Sasha? That's where I'm gonna leave it, because if you guys want to know how, join the Patreon.
That's a long conversation.
Right?
That's it? That's all y'all got for me?
I mean, I can definitely see that. Oh, God.
Yeah, come on. I know you want to say something.
I can definitely see. I mean, if you're gonna be, I wouldn't be forthcoming with that information. Like, hey, let me findom you. By the way, I suck with money.
No, you don't. I mean, you don't ever give up that part of the illusion or that part of the control, or the illusion that you're painting. But there's definitely a way to do it. Here, I'm just going to give a quick example, and this is why I say yes, you can, because you use other people's what they're good at to your advantage. Okay, it's just like being a boss. And you have to be a humble dom in order to be able to do something like this. So let's say I have a sub that is really good with money. He's an accountant. I don't do math. I don't like doing math. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, okay, so you've got $3,000, that you're of bills, and you've got $5,000 that you want to know where it goes. Okay, so make me a budget sheet. And here's what's going to happen. Every week, you're going to put this amount of money here, this amount of money there, and you're still in control. You're still in power. You're making that sub make the budget for you.
Okay. All right. Well, there goes your answer. But for more, you got to get onto our Patreon. You know what I'm saying? And,
Sasha, you got something to add to that?
Find out more about findom.
I think it sounds like you're flip-flopping on me here.
Well, no, because just because you may not be the best at your own personal finances doesn't mean that you're
True.
not
I'm not gonna handle
financially
somebody
savvy.
else's.
That doesn't
Mhm.
mean that you're not a good leader. That doesn't mean that you're good at allocation. You may self-sabotage yourself.
Mhm.
So that doesn't necessarily mean when you're assuming a role that you're incompetent of shutting off your personal structure to structure somebody else's life or to be in control or be a good leader for somebody else. Just because you don't lead yourself well doesn't mean you're not a good leader or teacher.
Very
Just
Right.
my opinion.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
there's plenty of people.
That was perfect.
There's plenty of people out there running businesses and things of that nature, telling people how to run their businesses,
Yep.
but probably don't even got their own businesses.
Mhm.
You know what I
They're
mean?
funneling
I
money
could tell
out
you
of
all
their
of that.
own butt.
I could give you all the creative ideas. I could tell you how to do this, that, and the
That's what a
third.
consultant is.
But guess what? Have you done it?
Yeah,
You know what I
Right.
mean?
that's
There's
what a
so
consultant
many
is.
broke financial consultants because they're not good at managing their own finances or their own life or their own other variables in their life. They may be good at leadership, but not necessarily good at delegating their own life.
Mhm.
Okay, so I've got. Well, Ken, do you have anything else to add to this? Because I got one more question.
Oh, I've got so much to add to it, but I'll
Okay,
say
well,
it.
you're gonna have to join us on Patreon after this because obviously this has opened up a floodgate. Okay,
Yep.
so I've
It's a
got one more
shit show.
question for my crew. Okay, and then I'm gonna open it up and see if anybody wants to ask any questions because we do have a couple viewers in here. So, but okay, I've been giving you guys some like curveballs tonight. Curveballs, all right. So here's the deal. Do you think that anyone can be a dom?
No,
No.
Yes.
no.
Okay, why no, Remi?
It takes a lot. I feel like it takes a lot. Anybody could be domineering, or dominant,
Or even
in
caring.
their personality. You know what I'm saying? Or even in their moods or behaviors. But a lot of times they'll come off as angry or it's different. A dom is completely different. It encompasses a lot. You know what I mean? So I don't think everybody has the capacity to encompass all of the different realms that it takes to become a dom.
Okay. Why do you say yes, Kane? Those are all good points.
I just
I
changed
say
his
yes just
mind.
because with the right training, I think anybody can do anything.
Mhm.
So I mean, like all of those bad qualities that you're describing, I mean, yeah, everybody. I started out with some of those bad qualities. All of us started out with some of those things that you were talking about, and we either had to change our habits, change our way of thinking, become more open, and or at least be able to understand that the way that you think isn't necessarily the way that it should go, and being able to step outside of that and to still be the bigger, better person in a situation. So I think anybody has the potential to be a good dom, but I don't think that everybody has the character to be a good dom. Skadoosh. I don't know.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Some people are definitely flawed or don't have the correct intentions. It's all about people's intentions. What are your intentions? And that's what's gonna make you a dom or not.
So I mean, like if anybody can be if a bad financial advisor could be a good fin dom, then I think anybody could be a good dom.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and I definitely agree. I think that anybody can be a good dom as long as they have a willingness to learn. And that's just my own personal opinion. Like as long as you are open to learning, yeah, you definitely can be a good dom.
Look at Remi being the sour sap of the group, trying to be negative on everything. I just went against y'all on everything. Like, what up?
Right. All right. So
I have a new section of the show. Remi ruins everything.
Right. It's Remi. It's the Remi show.
Remi ruined.
Remi show. Okay, so we do have a game tonight. I am having some technical difficulties pulling it up, but I am going to try and get it up as soon as possible here. Give me 2 seconds. Gotta love when it gives you.
Uno, dos,
tres, catorce,
cuatro, cinco.
All right.
Started to the count.
Okay. Now, if you want to load, please, sir. Thank you. Okay, there we go. All right. So we do have a game for you tonight. All right. And it is Dom Family Feud. So let me go ahead and just, share this with you guys. Because
wait, who gave her who told her to pick the game this time?
She won.
I did the last one.
Yeah, you missed her game. Her game was fun. Yeah,
It was fun. It was a test. And if you guys are friends on the Patreon, you guys go take the test too. There's a couple tests on there.
I was camping.
God damn.
It was
so
a
you
good
guys
time.
can see that I made this on a slide. So we're gonna press.
Wait,
Y'all just wait for it.
boom.
Who's gonna put a mustache on and be Steve Harvey?
Dancing, boom, boom, boom. She's a dance machine. Oh, baby.
So tonight on Family Feud, we've got the first question. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, what are the top? Okay, so here's how we're playing this. All right, everybody gets to answer, and how I'm going to do this is the top answer, number one, is worth the most points. So it's working backwards, 5 to 1. Okay, so if you get the fifth one or whatever, then you're going to have 1 point. Okay, and Mr. Kane, you're going to keep track for me so we know who's doing the game for next week. All right. So everybody needs to give me an answer because I can't go to the slide and just like open up 1 or 2 or whatever. So we're gonna open them all together. So you guys need to give one answer, and then you can give a second answer to try and get that fifth one. Okay, because there's only 4. Does that work?
Yep.
Okay. So what are the top 5 different types of DOMs?
Top.
So, yeah, top 5. So there's gonna be
master
5
mistress.
answers, so just give me 2. For the different
Findom.
types. Kind of talk about it. Huh?
Findom.
Findom. Okay. So Sasha with Findom.
Master mistress and yeah, I was gonna say Findom too. Can I say Findom as well?
Yes, you can. Yeah, I guess you can say that. Yeah, that works. All right. There's so many. We talked about a huge list tonight.
I know, but you told us only say 2.
What about a white knight?
Mommy, daddy.
So I have Findom and white knight.
White knight. Okay.
I'm gonna say top and mommy daddy.
Oh, that was good. That's where I was going. So I'm gonna say, and I honestly don't remember my answer, so I can play because it's been 2 weeks.
No,
so,
your joints don't count.
Oh, my joints don't count. Okay, I won't go
Nope.
but I just gonna play anyways. I'm gonna say top and mommy daddy also. So we have Sasha in for Findom, White Knight, Remi in for Master and Findom. So here we go. So the top answer is top. Okay, so that's 5 points right there. All right. So number 2, what is the number 2 answer? Dom or Dome or Dom. So that is this number 2 top voted answer. Okay. And I got this all off of an article. Like it's, it was actually a survey done and people asked questions.
We get it.
Yeah. Okay. So ready? Master or mistress is number 3. And number 4, daddy or mommy. And number 5, Findom.
I got 1 point with 1 answer.
You don't worry about keeping a score for me because I probably won't answer the next ones. I do remember the questions now. Okay. So next question. Ready? Question 2. Here we go. Name something a Dom is supposed to do before entering a play scene.
Negotiations.
Okay. So we got negotiations with Remi and Sasha. Kane, what do you have?
Boundaries.
How about
boundaries?
How about some self-care cleaning themselves or cleaning the equipment?
So like cleanliness, like cleanup.
Yeah,
right?
Cleanliness, sterilization, all that good stuff.
Sterilization. That's the word I was looking for. Okay. What you got, Kane?
A lot more than 5.
Give me 2. You can only give me 2.
Negotiation and limits.
Okay, so you want negotiation and limits or negotiation and boundaries?
Negotiation limits.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm gonna say you got to establish boundaries. I'm gonna say you have to vet your sub.
So boundaries and vetting. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. So first up on the docket, contract and negotiations. So Sasha and Remi, you got that one too, didn't you? You had yep, negotiations. That's right. All right, number 2, know each other's hard and soft limits. Very good. So yeah, give that one to Sasha because limits, boundaries, those are pretty much the same thing. All right, ready? Know each other's titles. I was surprised to see this one come up as like a top answer. Knowing each other's titles. So if you're
that's a good one though.
Yeah, a goddess, gimp, whatever you like to be called. So, all right. Establish a safe word. I can't believe no one said that.
I know.
One safe word and no one said
all that stuff is part of the negotiations.
There's like 30 different things you're supposed to do, and we're supposed to limit it to the top 5 that we think
the top 5
knows.
This is across the board. It's been like I looked at 4 different surveys for these answers.
Right. We talk about a placing.
Now here's the next one. SSC protocol. Now, I am willing to give an extra point to whoever can throw up their hand first. I see them. And you can tell me what SSC protocol stands for. Okay.
Yeah, safe, sane, and
Sasha,
consensual.
Go ahead.
Safe, sane, and consensual.
Safe, sane, and consensual. Yeah, safe, sanity, and consensual. Yep, that's it. So she gets an extra point. Woohoo! All right, ready? Next one. Question 3.
Yeah, cleaning the placing wasn't even on that
in this season.
Right.
What are the top 5 tools the DOMs of SafeWord uses? So our DOMs right here.
Feathers and floggers.
Feathers and floggers.
Paddles and floggers.
Paddles and floggers. And you said floggers and what, Sasha?
Floggers and paddles.
Floggers and paddles. Okay, so Sasha and Remi have the same answer. Ready? What's number 1? Floggers. Top answer. So that means everybody gets that 5 points right there. Paddles is the number 2 answer. So that gives Sasha and Remi, you guys got points on that one. Blindfolds. No one got that one.
No.
Ball gags.
Well, we only had 2 choices.
And feathers.
You ain't got the feather. Of course.
All right. So here's the next one. What are the top things a DOM should do for aftercare? Top 5 things.
Establish a safe space.
Establish a safe space.
Communication.
Communication.
And orange juice or water, depending on what you're doing.
Okay, but all of that falls under one title. So what would that consist of, Mr. Dom Remi?
Aftercare.
Aftercare. So aftercare is one of your answers. What's your second one? Do for aftercare. Okay, so you're saying like get them nutrients, drinks?
Yeah, replenishment, like replenishing their body and mind.
Okay, so
cuddle.
And water. Communication and water.
Communication and replenishment.
All right. Miss Sasha, what do you have?
Reestablish scene, like when you're not in scene.
Okay. So like reestablishing the scene after aftercare. This is after you're all done. And
after aftercare.
Or for aftercare. Sorry, for aftercare. When you're all done.
Check in with your sub.
Okay. Check in with your sub.
And then ask them how they're feeling. Well, that's part of checking in, I guess.
Yeah.
And asking them how they feel.
So asking them how they feel. Okay.
How does it feel?
She's like, I just ask me how I feel, god dang it.
How you feel, baby?
All right, okay. We've got feelings from Miss Sasha.
cleaning up your tools and equipment.
And yeah, I guess cleaning.
All right,
That
so
sounds
you
like
got
work.
you got feelings and cleaning. Remy, I forgot what you had. Remy, what you got?
Communication
Communication,
and
water, and water.
and replenishment.
Okay. All right. And Mr. Kane, what do you have?
I'm gonna say establish a safe space and damn it,
Mm-hmm.
first aid.
First aid.
Wait,
Okay.
I got my Steve Harvey beard mustache. You see it?
Yeah, but you ain't the host.
Bro.
All right. So here we go. Let's see what we got. Cuddling. Cuddling
I
is the
said
number
that.
one
Damn it.
answer. Cuddling. No one got that one.
Nope.
Number 2, rehydrating and snacks.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Hey, he was like food.
That's like you
Food.
giving blood or plasma. Like, do you need a cookie?
Yeah, well, and that's what you're
Nah.
supposed to do after
Nah,
aftercare.
yo.
You need a
Okay.
It's either it's orange juice or water.
Right.
Trying to tell you.
Number 3, taking care of any minor injuries. So, Kane, you got that for first aid. All right. Next one. 4, recounting the scene.
Like a play-by-play?
Well, yeah, you talk about it. You
This
go
is
through
what we
it.
did.
A check-in?
Yeah, you figure out, hey, did you like that?
So is that checking in with
Yeah,
your
that's
stuff?
checking in. Yep, you got that one. Okay, and words of affirmation. I'm really surprised Remy didn't get that one.
I said
Oh
communication.
no, he's not a nice person.
That's why I brought that's
I'm
why I
just
said
kidding.
communication. It
But you
brings
can
everything
speak
together.
about that could have counted for recounting the scenes. You know what I'm saying?
See, I got both of them then.
Communicating about. It's specific. It's during aftercare, for aftercare, words of affirmation. You are beautiful. You did so well. You know, all that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Communication. That's communication.
And we have a winner.
Oh,
He's gonna tally while we listen. Oh my goodness.
All right, that's copyright infringement right there. We might need to stop.
Somebody
saying-
asked you to keep tabs.
all right.
on my
And
thing.
the winner is unfortunately everybody Remi at 21 points.
I love
Why
how you pause,
unfortunately
like
though?
he won.
Like I can't even get I can't even get the congratulations. Just unfortunately, god damn. Unfortunately, Remy has to choose the game. God damn. I didn't think about that.
All right, so
Unfortunately, I won.
But it's about damn time.
Good job.
So it was only because I wasn't playing. Anyways,
You created the game.
This is
You
your
played
is this
every
your
game
first
that
win?
you created.
And win. Like that's the
no,
bullshit.
I've won games that I haven't
No.
created. So
No, you haven't.
So
Good
here's
job,
the deal.
Remy.
Remy won. Congrats, Mr. Remy.
Congratulations, Rem.
You have to do the game for next
I don't
week.
need no words of affirmation.
You are
This ain't
so
aftercare.
beautiful.
Forget
This
you.
is
You're so
aftercare.
handsome, Remy. You're so handsome. I need you to make a game for next week. All right, boo-boo?
You exist.
So Remy gets to pick the game. We do not get to back down. So he has got the game for next week. Oh goodness, you already see his face. It's gonna be a doozy. So
Oh God, tune in.
we are actually going to be posting another live on Patreon. It will not be up till a little bit later tonight, but it will be there, and you guys can come and join us there. It is all on the topic of the toxic dom. So if you want to come and learn more about that, join us over at the Patreon. Make sure you tune in. Mr. Kane, take us out
Like
for
a
the
dungeon dragon.
All right, everybody, that's our show for YouTube tonight. Thank you so much for joining us here at SafeWord. We hope you enjoyed yourself, and if anything, we hope you learned one or two things.
I enjoyed myself.
I'm
Yep.
sure.
Remy won the game, so he'll be picking what we're doing next week, unfortunately. So it's nothing but
Finger
love.
away,
You know,
Ty.
you guys love us. We love each other. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. Roy, we see you. We love you. Thank you so much for being a part of the crew. And for everybody else, thank you for joining. Thank you for liking, subscribing.